time to share a story because I just randomly had the memory and recollection of it. So I'm going to share it now while I'm pretty like hot about it. So back in December 2015, my full brother came over and visited my mother and I. He is in the Air Force, therefore, he doesn't live with us, and he's currently somewhere in Florida. Well, back in his December trip 2 years ago, we went on a trip to our old high school. We didn't go to high school at the same time. He is 5 years older than me, so he was way ahead of the game from me. When I started high school, he had graduated the year before. So, anyways, the idea was to go back to our old high school and visit our teachers, as many teachers as we could. So, we happened to have a mutual teacher, and we visited her. And, she remembered me, and she also remembered my brother. Um, she remembered his name when I mentioned it to her. But anyways, it took her a second to be like, "Oh yeah, I remember you, but who are you again?" But anyways, you know how when you are catching up with someone, the first thing that you do is um you tell them sort of picking up where you left off. Like, when my brother left the school, he was talking about maybe moving out and getting a job, and everybody knew he wanted to be a pilot. So, how was he going to go about it? So, he was telling our teacher the story of how he ended up in the Air Force and how he is studying to have his license to be able to fly and whatever. Long story short. And then, she was very attentive of him and just listening to him and everything. During my school career, I didn't really leave a solid legacy. I was that one student who I had the potential, I was intelligent, I was taking the difficult classes and passing the tests, straight A's. Pretty much, I have the world at my fingertips, as one teacher told me. But I never knew what to pursue. I never knew what I wanted. And I sure as hell did not want to be pushed into something. I cannot function when I'm pushed or stressed out and just pushed in general into something, especially if I'm not interested nor ready for it. So, anyways, my sort of dreaded moment came, and she was like, "And you, what do you do?" And I said, I work in retail." And then, she looked at me and she kind of like nodded and then turned back to my brother. And she was just acting like I had no future and I'm not interesting to listen to, Like, well, here's your brother. He's already established and he has a a career, he has a title, he has prestige, but you don't. And the reason I bring that up is because it's not the first time I see that. It's not the first time I've experienced that, and it won't be the last. And also, I have seen that on other people as well. Like, I've seen this happen to other people. And for me, I understand that society works by hierarchy. Like, I made a video about how I believe that decisions should be something that we all have an equal right to make, as opposed to you gotta respect this person because he has so and so position and they may be wrong and cause your doom, but somehow we have to convince ourselves that they're right. So just because I was not being loud about what I wanted to do, let alone sure, doesn't mean that I'm just worthless like that. I am not embarrassed about what I do. I do not have a huge income, a huge paycheck, but at least I can say that I am happy and satisfied with what I do, and I can go home and be peaceful about it, knowing that when my time comes to do whatever it is that I want to do, the time will be right. And I am not under the pressure of what everyone else did, which was, oh, I gotta rush and get scholarships and go to college and have a major in mind, have my career figured out, have my plans ready. It's like I saw everyone just walking around like gazelles on the guidance office trying to sort all of this out before, the semester was over or something. And I was just there chilling and relaxing. And I had a person who was very influential in my life at the time who also wanted to push me down the college route. And I'm like, look, you don't understand. College is not, I just go study and my life is made. This is a huge responsibility. There are bills to pay. This costs money, and I can get all the scholarships that I want, but that doesn't mean that I'll get out of there free of debt. I also have to figure out where I'm going to live, how I'm going to live, how I am going to transport myself, how am I going to pay for supplies and books and everything. Do you have that money? No. Well, I don't have it either. And the best favor, reward, and the best kind of act of kindness that I can do to myself is be free from debt. So that debt was way more massive than I could ever hope to be able to handle. So I said, until I have a plan that is effective and ensures that I will make it through this thing without pressuring myself financially, I'm not interested. And to this day, I have zero regrets about not having gone to college. So, anyways, and like I was saying, I know that society functions by hierarchies and everything, but trust me, if you were to attach a block, like a huge iron block to our foot and throw us into the ocean, neither of us is going to be able to float. So, in the same manner that I am vulnerable to certain elements, you are. You're not any better than me just because you have a stupid paper. You probably earn prestige and privilege in society, but I do not allow myself to be controlled by that. I do not allow myself be to think of myself any less just because my accomplishments of paper are not impressive. To me, what's impressive is that you're able to go home and you can be peaceful with yourself and with your life, and you don't have stress, and you don't treat people out there like they are worth less than you. To me, that's impressive because let me tell you, people can let like the fumes go up their brain, like go to their brain. And I just don't want to be that person. I insist. And for me, it was just disappointing because she was a teacher that I actually respected. And I learned a lot from her. But like I said, that attitude, I would have never figured that that's the way she is. But it really disappointed me because I'm like, you are a teacher. You are doing something that I wanted to do. And the image that you're displaying to your students is kind of conflictive because on one end you are a kind, supportive, and nice teacher, but at the end of the day, it's like you're still influenced and will have a bias toward people depending on what they do and what they accomplish. You know, it's the same thing with my family, and that's why I'm not really close with my family because anytime I visit them, they're always like, why aren't you dressed up? Why don't you have your hair done? Why are you not in school? Why are you not like working on going up in your company or something? Or, what are you doing? And I'm like, that's the question that you need to be asking me. What am I doing? And then I will gladly fill you in on my plans. But you want for things to just happen. And that is not the way I function. The way I function is I make a plan and I address it little by little at my pace and slowly but with certainty build it. It's like I may not be fast, but it doesn't mean that I'm failing. And just because my brother is in the Air Force, how do we know that his life quality is good? You know, like I'm not going to share details of him because it's not my business and I don't talk to him like that. But from what I hear, he is not necessarily on a throne made of gold. So that's all that I'm going to say. All he has is that little title that he was able to accomplish things in the military. And like, I'm not trying to belittle his accomplishments. I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. Like, I know that he's worked hard in his own way and whatever, but I cannot invalidate my value just because he's done something different. You see what I mean? It's like respect people for how they are and what they do, whether it's slowly or not. I feel like I've said this on the channel before, but it doesn't matter at what rate a student learns as long as they learn. You know? So for me is it doesn't matter just how long it takes me to be by society standards financially successful. You know, just as long as I get there, but it also depends what you define as financial success. For me, financial success is I have a home, I have a car, and I have my health. Like I can eat and I can afford the things that I need for survival, like clothes, utilities, etc. But I don't need to like ambition having a lot. I don't plan on living my life to to accomplish that. That does nothing for me. What does things for me is being peaceful. And to be happy and peaceful, I don't need a lot. So, most of my teachers always wanted to push us in that direction of get a good job and get this and get that. And I'm like, what I want to do is do something for myself, something that I'm proud of. It doesn't matter how modest it is or how impactful it is. I just want to look at something and be proud of it. And one of those somethings for me is being an artist. I had no idea that I could draw. I never thought that I could create things. But my room has a ton of examples. And guess what? I wouldn't have been able to unlock that potential in me had I gone to college, had I been stressed out, had I been pushed. You know, it's something that you just have to introspect, attempt, and discover. So like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm invalidating what other people accomplish. She's a lady already in her 50s, like late 50s or something. So the times in which she lived to go in school were significantly different from mine. But if she's not keeping track of how the current trends are, I would urge her to do so because I'm not skipping on college just because I want to be ignorant deliberately. It's because I understand that college is a double edged sword and I am choosing to not get cut by either side of the blade, you know? So instead of looking at me like I'm a failure, just be proud that I am not stressed out. Can you say that you're not stressed out? Can my brother say that he's not stressed out? No, no. So, but anyways, let me see what some of you guys are saying. I don't think I can hang out very long because I gotta catch up on some stuff. But anyway, don't get sucked into paying thousands for a college education. You can get it free on the internet. Exactly. And don't even get me started on that rambling. I have learned so much from doing independent studies and just asking people around for their opinions and experiences and thoughts and everything that I'm sure college would not have given this to me. They could have given me some resources, like maybe studying abroad opportunities, but if I want to travel, I'll travel and period. It'll take me as long as it takes me to like gather the money to go to some country or something. But guess what? Now that I'm on the topic of traveling, I'm not even excited about traveling. I'm someone who genuinely, legitimately does not find traveling all that thrilling and exciting. The only thing I love about traveling is the plane, the ride. But I don't get excited about, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to a different state and see something different or something new. No! My brother gets excited about places he goes. He went to Japan and he was sharing that story with the teacher, and she was like, oh wow, good, cool. Like, good for you, brother. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you loved your experience, but do not attach feelings to me. I don't have to feel the excitement that you felt about going overseas because that's not me. That doesn't fill me up with joy. And a lot of people will probably accuse me of being close minded or being rude or something, but that's just me. I am fine being at my house, I'm fine being in my state at home, you know? So if everybody else is hyped about college and traveling and going to other countries, good for them, but you cannot expect for me to feel the same way. If I genuinely do not feel that, it's like trying to force me to eat olives when I hate olives. It ain't gonna happen. So I am not going to love traveling. And you might say that I'll change my mind once I try it, but I mean, seeing new things is cool, but you need to be me to understand why I don't feel the hype about traveling. I genuinely just like to be at home and chill. So nobody will understand that about me, you know? So when I say nobody, it's the people in my close proximity, you know? Um, but, anyways, you have a good education, don't worry. Thanks a lot. I like the fact that your job is in retail. Hey, Prime. If I can turn back time, I would go into trade, not university. A lot of folks have been telling me about trade school. Well, not a lot of people, but I've heard three people talk to me about trade schools. So I need to investigate that. Thanks for telling us your story and God bless you. Thanks a lot for listening. I am proud of you. I love being at home too. Airport travel these days is terrible. Exactly. And that's another thing. The glory days of traveling are over. So you cannot just try to forcefully make me enjoy something that, especially in my time, day, and age, is not a glorious experience. You know? So the thing about it is, I wouldn't have issues. I wouldn't be expressing this if it weren't for the fact that I suspect that people are just trying to be controlling of your emotions. No, traveling does not excite me. If it does for you, whatever floats your boat, mate, like, good for you. But you cannot be like, yeah, you have to be excited about traveling because that's what everybody's goals are. Everybody says that they want to travel the world and this and that. Well, good. I am Zamri. Other people are other people. So, anyways, at the end of the day, my personal message, which this may not apply to everybody, but it's going to be, do what you feel you want to do. Don't do it because someone tells you, someone forces you, or because you feel the pressure of your group. Do it because you see the benefit for yourself. Sometimes I ask for advice. I'm like, hey, I have trouble managing a crowd. What can you do to help me? And they say, well, you can read a book that talks about how to address a crowd. You can watch videos. You can rehearse, stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, or record yourself and, tweak stuff here and there. That I like. Advice that I solicited. But, like, when you just try to tell me, oh, you have to go take this course because you need to land a good job, it's like, I don't want to do something that I hate. Why can you not be proud of me for that? Why can you not be proud that I am not following the trend, that I am not an automated person, like, just following something that's pre-established. No, I want to do my own thing. I want to build my own future and my own destiny with my own hands. I don't know how or what it's going to be, but I trust myself. I really, really, really have high regards for myself. So if I was concerned, I would be seeking out help and information, but I am not. And because I look at the past and I'm like, there were other people out there who made it without the stuff that I have. Like, they had a future, they accomplished things, and they did not need all this publicity, like they didn't need the help of marketing of stuff. So, anyways, airport travel is horrible. Okay, cool. Be yourself. Amazing message. What is your New Year's resolution? Um, wow, I was just like firing away, and that simple question completely, like, caught me off guard. I really don't do New Year's resolutions like that, because if I have a goal that I impose myself, I just go for it at any time. It can happen in the summer, so I'm not going to wait until January to start working on it. But I guess if I were to come up with something on the fly, it would be a continuation of what I've accomplished to this point, which is be myself and not let other people's feelings and opinions affect me, unless it's for the better. So I guess my New Year's resolution would be to remain consistent. I feel extremely happy with the way I am, extremely happy with the way I'm doing things, my pace as well. Like, I'm pursuing positions in my job, but I'm doing it at my own pace because I feel like it. It's not because, you know, that team or say my mom is pushing me. It's like I may mention it like, hey, I have an interest in this and that. What do you recommend I do to increase the odds of me performing better? But if I don't feel like it this year nor next year, then, you know, whenever. You could sell some paintings, maybe. I thought about it, but the thing about me and my art is that if I create something, it's because I want to have it. I want to keep it. And I've strongly considered selling my best piece, but I'm like, something about selling it and getting rid of it, it's just difficult for me. So, do you like to play video games? I used to. Um, some 5 years ago, I just quit because A, I don't have the time for it anymore, and B, it doesn't really appeal to me that much anymore. But yeah, I made some really old videos, like where I reviewed some of my favorite games, like Metal Gear Solid. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to go now. Thanks so much for tuning in. What is my favorite movie? My favorite movie, shoot, I really don't have a favorite one, but I'll think about it. And I guess I should really make an announcement of a future stream so that you guys can anticipate that, and then, you know, we can hang out and stuff. So give me some time, and I'll be announcing a date where we can do something like that. It'll be soon enough. Sell the prints, keep the original. Huh. See, I feel like when you make a copy of something, it just doesn't hold the same essence as the original. But that's just me. You guys know that I'm weird. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.